And we are live. Hello, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, welcome to the Sisters of the Mystical Tarot. To my
whichever side.
to that side is Aley from Heart and Soul Connected, and nope, there. Well, not there. I can't do it. Anyways, below Aley is Val.
From
Dragonfly Souls and Next Level Channeling. And to the left of her on your screen is Sherry from Voices from the Swamp. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I see there's Christine. I changed my screen a bit, and the print is smaller. I should have changed it back. But anyways, we have what happened to? All of a sudden, the chat jumped. Okay. Oh, Melda is here. She looks like she was first in the room. Proxy Roxy.
I think Marina probably still is streaming, isn't she? Is she still streaming? She should be, even if she's not here.
She might. It'll stream to her channel.
It'll stream to her channel.
Right.
Send her lots of love. She's got a bad migraine.
Bad migraine. But this is streaming to her channel as well.
Oh, nothing worse than a migraine. Oh,
yeah.
Sharon, do you have a different microphone? For some reason, that microphone is very. It break. Well, I don't know if it's
muffling.
Breaking up.
Muffling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let me look at my settings here.
Maybe she can adjust.
I can change the microphone.
I know, but we got to deal with this first. Then we'll come deal with you.
Okay, how is this one?
Good.
That's better.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
Thanks for letting me know about that. Anyways, welcome everyone. And today's topic. Finally, the weather's turned warmer here. We've had such a cold spring. Is it the same for you, Aley? Yeah, it's been such a cold spring. And
finally we're going to have 10 days of sun now, though. So I'm
exactly,
really
so are we. And it was really, I had a beautiful walk. I mean, the theme for this week is talking about what kind of activities do you like to do out in nature to recharge. And today I went on a wonderful walk down what's called Burgoyne Bay, and it was a farming. You can see farming fields and stuff like that, but it goes right down to the water, and it's surrounded by forests, and there's a mountain right there. You can look at it. And but it was gifted to the province, and it's a provincial park. And I just love taking the dogs down there. There's wonderful trails, and they're just so happy. And it's just a wonderful way to get your walk in. I'm so blessed living here that the walks here are fantastic. I get so much energy from the trees and from listening to the birds. And so whenever I'm feeling down, I go for a walk or go to the beach. There's many beaches here, not the great sandy beaches like you'd have in California, the rocky beaches, but to go and sit down and watch the waves, pounding in. It's just, there's something about, I don't know, it just is, it's just so recharging. I guess all those ions, what is it, positive ions from the water?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So also there's hiking. I can walk actually from my cabin down a ways, and then there's a pathway up the mountain, and there's a lookout, and the beautiful scenery of Vancouver Island and the ocean. And I mean, I'm just so blessed here. There's so many things I can do in nature.
Yeah.
Or go to Ruckle Park, which is another provincial park, and it's actually a working farm still. And just to go and see all the sheep in these vast fields and in the forest, and it's also right on the ocean. Sometimes go down to the beach there, and you'll see pods of killer whales going through the islands, and it's nice. I find nature very, very. It just vitalizes me. It just revitalizes me. Mm-hmm. So, Aley, what are some of your favorite things to do in nature?
One of my favorite things to do, which I haven't been able to do, I used to have a motorhome and we would just take off the whole weekend. And, you know, it's more like, what is it, glamping than camping.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I really love sitting out with a fire. I don't know, coffee tastes better out there.
Oh, it does.
Anything that you eat tastes like really delicious, and it just makes such a big difference. But I haven't done that for a while. But I also enjoyed during 2020 taking 7-mile walks every day, but my feet have bad bunions now, so I couldn't do it. But I listened to audiobooks when I went, but I still was able to really enjoy everything all around. And so, and I've never, ever, ever been a person that cared anything about gardening. Nothing.
No, me neither.
Nothing. And now I like it. Now I like it. Yeah.
I'm thinking about it. I'm still thinking about it, but I'm not around enough to.
No, I hear you.
Like I wanted to put a vegetable garden in. I thought, well, I won't be here.
I don't have patience for that, but I have lavender, and I also have some like chrysanthemums and stuff, and on the trees. I love them.
Right.
And so I mean, it isn't like I love going down to Home Depot every spring and just loading up with perennials because I don't want annuals. Those aren't any good. They go away. Yeah. You know, just replenishing and replacing. And it's so beautiful out there when it's lush and green. So, yeah. It really does
one of the big joys I have is I've told you that this cabin is I'm not in the cabin right now, but the big joys of spring is seeing my mother's tulip, not dandelions. What am I trying to say? Daffodils. Yeah, daffodils come up. It's just, they've been there how many years now? Since 94, so 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
That is nice.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Val.
I was just looking at Teacher Barbara. I do not have a green thumb. I can kill a cactus.
Oh, I usually can.
That's me. Right down that alley, I would fit right in there. Yeah. They have a much better chance if they're in the ground and they're already established when they get to me.
Yeah.
But somehow the system can keep them alive. But I'll tell you what I like to do recently is I just like to go outside and listen to the birds sing. And I have about 3 hummingbird feeders, and my husband and I really love to sit out there. Our pool has a waterfall feature, and the waterfall's flowing. We hear that beautiful water, and I hear the birds singing their hearts out. And we watch the hummingbirds do their thing, fighting for all the feeders. And, it is something I do like to do, but we haven't been for a while, is go somewhere like Yosemite National Park. And even if you're at somewhere like the Ahwahnee Hotel, which we stay at, and you take your coffee and you go out on the back, patio, and you sit there and you're just sitting in heaven while you're drinking that. There's nothing like it. And many, many times I've hiked and hiked and hiked all throughout that area. I've even played golf at Wawona, and just the sitting in the forest and just letting it soak in is still my favorite of all the things you can do in nature, just soaking it up, which is what I do now when I go with my husband. I sit on the back yard area. I soak it up, and like it. I mean, even we're on a golf course, we still get, we get coyotes, we get rabbits, we get all kinds of hawks and just tons of things, geese, everything comes through here. I'm sure I'm not even naming half of them, but it's full of quail, cute quail families we get to watch. And they trot across our little, streets with the little quail.
Yeah, the little trail.
I've never seen that happen. You've missed something, because it's just the cutest thing. They have all the trust in the world that the little quail's following the mom.
Like the Partridge Family.
It's going to be safe, and they're going to be fine. And we all stop for the quails, and I've never
Yeah.
had anything bad happen.
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that. That happens, this season. We get California quail as well, and they're just it's so cute watching the little train,
They're
right?
the ones that they have the little thing on the head.
Yes, the little yeah.
And the little baby. Oh, it's the cutest thing you've ever seen.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's it for me. I used to hike everywhere, but you know what? Hello to not necessarily having to hike to enjoy it. So,
I used to hike and backpack, and I did all that kind of stuff, like the West Coast Trail, and Sherry.
Well, I grew up on the beach down in the South.
Oh,
On the
nice.
Gulf of Mexico. I mean, I could spend all my time just sitting on the beach. I love sitting on the beach. I used to love to get, the little short-legged beach chairs and go sit it just where the surf is coming in. And so you sit on the beach, you sit in the chair, your legs are in the water, and you can just, it's just nirvana for me. But I also enjoy, now I just got through spending a week up in the mountains. I love being up there. It's just breathtakingly beautiful. The fear I go through of going up and down the mountain, I don't know if it's actually worth it or not. But I have to go outside every day. And there's just something about it's like plugging in your phone and charging the battery. I have to go outside every day, hot or cold, wet or dry. I have to go outside every day. At work, I have this nice little place back behind the hibiscus bushes and the flowering magnolia, Japanese magnolia trees. They've got that lines one side of our building. There's a little space back up in there. I have a little stool that I keep in my office, and I bring it down. That's where I go take my lunch break.
Oh, nice.
And I get squirrels that come visit and birds. And day before yesterday, I was out there and this big old butterfly come flitting. It was the first time I'd seen a butterfly over there in that area. I've seen them on campus, but not in that area. The squirrels are so people oriented because of the students. They'll come steal your lunch right out of your hand if you're not careful. They'll come snatch it right up and go. So I've learned to throw them bites when I see them there so they leave me alone. But there's just something about being outside, just breathing that air. I know during the lockdown, I guess about 2 weeks into it, it was just starting to get dusk, that not quite dark yet, just that right time. And I went to sit outside it was when I lived in the old place, so we didn't have a private patio. It was just a little sidewalk in front of our apartment. And I remember sitting there, and for the first time in the 10 years that I had lived there, I was like, I can actually hear birds singing. Before, there was so much traffic sound that you didn't hear the birds. And I could hear the birds chirping, and I could hear frogs croaking. And it was wonderful. It was like there was no traffic sounds. There was just nature sounds. It was truly lovely. Me and one of the other ladies that lived in the same building as me would go outside every evening and go sit for like 30 minutes just to listen to the birds sing. Because normally we couldn't hear it there. Now, the new place where I'm at, it's all the time. I hear them all the time. We have a woodpecker out here that loves the metal light pole. It's constantly rat-a-tat-tatting on the metal light pole. It's like, dude, you're never going to punch a hole in it. Give it up. But every evening he's out there banging on that pole. When we moved to the new place, I saw eagles that fly over here. I didn't even know we had eagles in Louisiana. And
wow.
Absolutely wonderful, Sorry, the guys are talking in the background. But I don't know, there's something about sitting outside. it's like I can breathe better. You know, I can truly feel like I'm getting refreshed, I guess is a good word for it. But I love to sit outside. Here we got a private patio. I can sit out on my patio all the time. So
Yeah, that's nice. It is refreshing and reviving. You know, everybody has their special thing that makes their soul come alive, and it's that, you know,
yeah,
I totally get that. And yeah, mine is for some reason hearing water trickle or
Oh, yeah.
waterfall
that's another good one. Yeah.
and birds singing.
Yes.
The little
yes.
songbirds
I hear you.
that sing their song, you know, in the springtime. Oh my gosh, my heart just comes alive when I hear that. There's something about it.
Yeah, it's you know, we were so blessed that we were able to raise our children in on 33 acres of forest. I mean, they go out and play, pretend they were, what's that show that was filmed in New Zealand? The Hobbit. What do they call it? The Ring?
Tolkien by
The
Tolkien.
Lord of the Rings.
By Tolkien, yeah.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings, is that right? Yeah, they go out and play Lord of the Rings. It was you know, it's pretty amazing upbringing for them, and as a result, they they do things like, for example, I was spending Christmas with my daughter one year, and she said, "Are you okay with leaving by the 28th of December? Because we're going to go skiing." And I said, "Oh." That's great. Where are you staying? Are you staying at what hotel are you staying at, or motel? And this was up at a world-class ski resort, Whistler, where I think 2012 Olympics were, 2010. Anyways, and so, oh no, we're not in a motel. We're camping. We're camping on the snow. And they hike up with all their gear. They make a base camp in the snow, and they were doing mountaineering skis, not downhill, but the mountaineering ones where they were a hybrid of a ski. Anyways, they ski down, and then they hike up in their skis.
Oh, you're
and
making
then
me tired.
down.
Oh,
I mean, they were in such wicked shape, and also she does the rock climbing, like the cliffs, and
Yeah, no, I'm not hanging on the side of a cliff.
oh,
I'm sorry.
I should show
I
you.
like what Froxy Roxy put in the chat. She says she needs to see storm clouds rolling in across the sky.
Right?
That's one of the things about growing up in the Gulf that I used to love to watch, was watching storms roll in off the water.
I mean, this is my daughter climbing.
No.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, not in this lifetime.
But
no.
just saying that they've they camp, they cycle, they do bouldering. I mean, it's amazing what they do. It's just but then I was a hiker. I didn't get into rock climbing or anything like that, but a backpacker and that sort of thing, and cycling. And their grandmother, my mother, was very active cycling and also backpacking and hiking as well. So we've had a love of, if we, living in the city, we got out of the city and spent our spare time there, because it just was so, I mean, you had to come down from all the busy things in the world. And I think it's so important, even more so these days, because of all the craziness.
I think urban hiking is a lot of fun too.
Yes.
You went into a city you hadn't been to, and you're going to walk 6-9 blocks or whatever and just check everything out. It's a lot of fun. It can be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun.
I used to go walking
At
everywhere.
storefronts,
Now I can't do it anymore.
neighborhoods or whatever's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My daughter and her fiance came to Victoria right after Christmas, and we stayed in a Airbnb that was right a block off Chinatown, and we walked all over. And Kristen said to me, "Well, I'm really impressed with, at your age, how you just No, but she just said, "You're walking really fast." She says, I can't keep up with you."
My daughter said that to me before.
Oh, my
Yeah.
mother was like that. I
What do
would
they
have to
think we're
run to
ancient
keep
the
up with
I
my
know, they
mom.
think, yeah,
I mean, I don't get
I
it.
know, I
What
know.
do they think we're 89 or what's the deal?
Yeah, I know. She said, "I'm so impressed, Mom." I think, well,
Oh,
I'm
where
not
do you think you
dead
got it
yet.
from?
I love
I
Victoria.
used to love to
It's
do
the most
that.
beautiful. Victoria is
Isn't
one
it?
of the most beautiful places I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And that huge hotel restaurant, I guess it's like right in the middle of the city.
Yeah.
I don't remember. It had tea time there, didn't it, or something?
The Empress
Thank you.
right on the harbor there. Yeah.
So lovely. Very
Yeah.
lovely.
Yeah. 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 It's a really, really beautiful place.
One of the
And it's
things I
small.
miss
It's a
is being
small
able to
city.
go walking.
Mhm.
What's that, Sherry?
I said one of the things I really miss being able to do is to go
Oh,
walking.
I know. Well,
I
that's,
used to just go walk neighborhoods, just walk around, just to go walking, and I
yeah.
miss being able to do that. I can't do that anymore. And
Yeah. I know. I was thinking about that today. I was having tea at the cabin actually and listening to the birds. And I thought, I just came back from a wonderful walk with the dogs. And I thought, I got to do as much of it as I can because days are numbered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It's
So,
true. Yep.
I thought,
Um,
heck, if I can't walk, maybe I'll have a, what do you call those things? Those
Scooter.
four-wheeled. Well, I mean to take it
Sharon.
to the trail. Yeah, yeah, right. My three
that's
wheels
what I need. I need to get me one of them
with
scooters.
chunky tires on it.
Chunky tires.
Yes.
Laura was asking, do we go to festivals or fairs? And I know Wayne Rich and his wife Suzanne go to Renfests, and I do whenever I can.
Mhm.
But it's also fun to go to some of the arts and crafts fairs,
Yes.
provided I don't want to go during the week. I mean, the weekend. I'm sorry. I try to go like on a Thursday or Friday with all the old fossils walking through. You don't have to wait so
We're
long.
in festival season right now. Yeah,
Mhm.
I bet.
Easter is now over, and we just had the big International Festival of Carillons, which is like a week-long music festival with bands from around the world. It's so funny because you'll get French, Canadian French, and Cajun French, and they're all talking in French, and they don't understand each other because it's 3 different languages, which is fun to try to sit and decipher. But we're full bore festival season now, and it's going to last the rest of spring and summer.
Mhm.
There's a festival somewhere in this state every weekend. So,
Yeah. One of the really interesting festivals here is on Vancouver Island. They have a sand sculptures. Oh, they're amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Mhm.
There's all sorts of festivals, plus music festivals, that sort of thing. Do you know girls? Do you know what I did the other night? This house here is humongous. It's beautiful house, and they've got this humongous TV on the wall. I mean, it's huge. And I thought, and I usually just watch my laptop, but anyways, I decided to hook my laptop, by Bluetooth to the big TV, and I found a concert by Adele. It was a recent one, and it was
like
at the
her.
Royal Albert Hall, and it was called An Audience with Adele.
Mhm.
They have these different things. BBC has these different things. Anyways, the lower floor of the Royal Albert Hall was all celebrities who were sitting at tables with little lamps, and then the tiers were filled with the public. And so anyway, Adele comes around the corner and goes to the microphone, and she just has to say, when I come around the corner and seeing you all there, I felt quite nervous. But she was just, she's so personable anyway.
Yes.
And one of the things she did say was, even after all these years, she still has imposter syndrome. Isn't that interesting? And she's such an incredible singer.
Yep.
Yeah. So I watched that, and I was dancing. I was here by myself, and I was singing along with Adele and dancing. And then I put on a concert of the Moody Blues. We used to, whenever they came around, Yeah, we watched the Moody Blues.
Been to see them many times. They're wonderful.
Yeah, they're wonderful. Here at Burnaby Lake Park on the mainland, just outside Vancouver, they did a concert. So it's this big park on this lake, and it's this outdoor concert. And I'm really picky about the sound. You know, I'm sound bitch. Anyways, I thought I wasn't sure that it was going to be that good, right? Oh, the sound was superb. It was amazing. So the sound engineer really knew what he was doing. And at one point, when they start the concert, Graham, the drummer, is basically reciting this poem. And just at the right moment, this flock of geese flew in front of this huge full moon. It was just, and the crowd went, whoa. Wow.
Half of them were probably stoned too.
It was so much. I mean, they couldn't have planned.
They couldn't have planned that one. No.
It was just so incredible. Yeah, but we took our young girls and we sat on a blanket, had our dinner, picnic dinner, and watched the Moody Blues. And then we went again some years later when they came. But anyways, so I had the Moody Blues concert on, and I'm dancing and I'm singing. And I tell you, the next morning, oh boy, did I wake up sore.
You should have zigged when you zagged, I guess.
That's right. There's left
or do
knee
like me now, stick to chair dancing where you just move the upper body.
We're in the car. Yeah. But you know what? I remember those when our kids were little, or when I was little, the parents would get you all packed up and they'd put you in your pajamas and you'd, have your little box of food or chips, and you'd sit on, and they would have the regular band playing from the high school or something, and everybody was there, and everybody loved it so much, and I miss that in a way.
They're doing that more here, having outdoor concerts. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of musicians on the island here.
Our university puts on several of them, like Mozart in the park or Beethoven in the park, and they have several jazz musicians that'll do jazz in the park, and it's like that. They've the city, with help from a lot of the local businesses, the university, donations from just people who live here, have built a new park that they were just starting it when I moved back home, and they just opened it up to the public last year. And it's got like a section for local artisans to sell their wares. It's got another section for local farmers to sell, like a farmer's market. It's got play areas for kids. They've got walking paths, jogging paths, dog areas where you can take your dogs to run and play and whatnot. They've got, they put in a man-made lake, and they've got a couple of pavilions that go out onto the lake. And so you can schedule like weddings and stuff, and it's just really, they did a fantastic job of what they put together out there. And then now they're doing it. There's something happening there just about every weekend. And it's really nice to see people of all ages, all races, just meandering and just hanging out at the park and listening to live music and stuff. It's really cool. And you talk about sound engineers. That's what my son does now. He finally found his passion for a job, and that's doing sound engineering. And I bought him a T-shirt that says, "Even musicians and singers need heroes too." And his sound engineer underneath, So I bought him that, and he started wearing it. Everybody was like, "Oh, that's awesome." But
the other artist that my husband and I would follow whenever she was in town was Bette Midler. Oh, she always put on such a great show. Oh, just such a great show. Yeah, I saw her in the late 70s, actually, at a location in Vancouver. It's a club called The Cave, and it was this grotty club. But all the big stars used to go there, like from the 40s and 50s and 60s. And but anyway, she was just a riot. To watch her in that club was really special. because it was
We
small.
just lost one of our local musicians here. Guy was in his mid to late 40s. You know, he wasn't that old, but he had quite a reputation. He played in 5 or 6 different bands. You know, he just played. And he got sick and passed away. And they did a fundraiser for his family to pay for expenses. And they raised like $45,000 in less than a day, just posting it on Facebook. And then they had a huge concert in the park with all the different bands that he had played with that came and played and stuff. And it was really cool. And
obviously it was someone who was so passionate about music.
Yeah. It's nice to see people pay respect for something like that, you know.
Such a gift. Such a gift.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we've got a couple of questions. I'll go to those right now. And okay. Yeah. Is that Yana Vakiravel? I don't know. I'm butchering it. Many people coming down with cancer in Florida. Is it the chemtrails?
They have plenty there. There's Air Force bases all over the place.
Right. I don't know if I've ever seen chemtrails up here. Usually don't they do in a crisscross pattern or something like that? Or yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen them.
Everybody needs to know in the chat, we only take readings from our community pages. We don't take them from the show notes. Sorry, chatters. Yeah. If you get them up by Wednesday, by noon, we're able to go ahead and do it for you.
Right. And we all post it on our community tabs. So,
yep.
I got an interesting card for this. I do know there are a lot of things that are going on, not just in Florida, but really everywhere, where we are not being told things like the water isn't really that good, or the air quality isn't that good, or there's dumping in the oceans and things like that. I get a cage, and the cage says oppressive environment and unhealthy inner life.
Wow.
So as much as I used to love Florida, and as much as it's a beautiful place, still, a lot of cancer is caused by our thoughts about things or our behaviors. And I'm not saying if anybody has cancer that it isn't a medical problem, because I don't want to be taken the wrong way. But like breast cancer, they say is that, you know, you haven't mothered yourself well, or you haven't loved yourself enough. And that's one of the metaphysical symptoms of it. Whereas there's, I'm sure, more other symptoms, and that is that different cells divide and all that stuff. But I really do believe Florida is an oppressive environment. I have a lot of students from Florida that are taking diversity classes with me. They wouldn't be able to take those if they were at a college in Florida. They can only take it because the college isn't in Florida. And so to me, that's oppression. There's a lot of government oppression, and there's a lot of things that, for me, are caged up and haven't been told to you. That's what I think.
Yeah. And you know what? It's really a balance of things. It's all of those things. And also there are environmental factors at play here. And, you know, everything that you are exposing yourself to, whether that's cigarette smoke or, you know, it could be secondhand smoke, whatever it is, or It could be the newly acquired asphalt that is cancerous on the roadways, which the cars drive over, and it just goes up into the air and goes to everyone. There are so many carcinogens in different things, like Aley said, water and all those things, that it really is a balance of all these things. And all you can do is try to eat organically, try not to be around anyone who smokes. When you drink water, make it be a glass container, not the plastics. We've got the microplastic thing going on. There's just so many things where you have to break it down to the most natural level so that you can try and eat and keep your environment healthy. And some of those things include carpets you may buy that may have carcinogens going into the air. It's a whole bunch of things. And so just being aware of what's natural and what isn't, what's chemical. As for chemtrails, in the sky, that is it's too many things can be working together to do this. And I've read many times that chemtrails are not it, but you can't read and believe everything. So even if they factor it in, it's not the only thing. Yeah.
Right.
That's it.
Well, I pulled a compass, and it talks about that as long as you orient your compass to true north, the direction of your higher power, you will never be lost. I think for many people, like with what Val was talking about with things in the air, the water, the ground all around us, we've gotten to the point where we have polluted ourselves so extremely that we don't know what is safe and what isn't safe anymore. Even when we try to take all the steps and do everything we can to, breathe clean air and drink clean water and all the things to be safe, there is still so much pollution of every variety that you almost can't escape it,
And Sherry, you're absolutely right. We're not even talking about the prescription bottles of stuff people throw down the toilet and go into our water system, and they test it and they find traces of everything. You name it, tranquilizers, everything.
The fish we eat has plastic in
there you go. Yeah,
their stuff now because that's what they're eating in the oceans.
It's even worse than that, Sherry. They have found that when you plant vegetables and you buy them at the supermarket, the plastic they're put in the ground contains plastic, and it gets absorbed into the carrots, into the potatoes. I mean, it's gotten to where we're going to have to adjust our DNA to go, oh, plastic, yeah, that's good. You have to adjust.
People eat margarine instead of butter. Margarine is one molecule off from plastic to make plastic.
Yeah, go for the butter, folks, if you're going to have to eat it.
Yeah. When I started learning some of this stuff.
Plastic is made from
closest to the cow. I mean, the natural forces.
Yeah.
Well, plastic is made from oil, right? So
oil from pumped up out of the ground, that we need to leave in the ground. So
you can't kill it, you can't get rid of it, it doesn't disintegrate.
No, I just hate all the plastic packaging. Oh, drives me crazy.
It makes me feel sad when I get plastic packaging and it doesn't say recycle on it.
Yeah.
I feel so bad when I have to put it in the garbage. It just makes me feel terrible. So, yeah.
So I've got the Page of Pentacles, and I agree with you guys. It's just one of many things. The chemtrails, and it's about money. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's many things. Okay.
For instance, when you bring up when lockdown happened, Within a
Right.
month, scientists were flipping out over how fast nature was reversing itself
Yeah,
to being cleaner because there weren't as many cars on the road or people out
exactly.
and about.
Exactly.
And they were like, if we can get this result in a month because everyone's on lockdown, what could we accomplish if we put our mind to it? And I was like, that's kind of
Mhm.
scary when you think about it, that it's would be just that easy to fix it and we don't do it.
Huh. I love Wayne Rich. I won't give up my emotional support butter.
Butter's okay.
My,
Butter's okay. It's margarine that's not.
it's margarine.
Yeah,
Margarine
is a
yeah,
no-no.
exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
But you have to eat butter in moderation. You can't go butter
Right.
crazy.
Yeah,
because
you
it
can't.
does,
It's
clog
it's
up
all
your
about
arteries
moderation.
if you're, going crazy with it. So
Yeah. I
But
mean,
when you cook with real butter, you wind up not using nearly the same amount.
well,
as you do
I
margarine.
cook with olive oil, and I try and
Yeah,
use
I do
olive
too.
oil for most
Yeah,
things.
that too.
because,
Yeah.
let's
me
just
too.
face it, it's not saturated fat. So
Okay. Hello, ladies. Please guide me in finding out what awaits me in the next few months.
okay, next few minutes.
All right, Queen. I see that you have been working hard on something. And remember, this is potentiality only. We don't have like the perfect crystal ball to tell you exactly everything, but you are completing something and you're closing a door. And it doesn't have to be anything bad. It just might be you're completing a cycle or you're moving into something new, but you're going to tie it up a little bit first. It could be a new job. I don't know. It could be one of these areas, but you're going to tie it up first and you're going to say, wow, I got through that. And you kind of like, it's complete. So that's what I get from you.
That sounds good. And that matches what I have. Is there are things that may be hard to do, but it's not impossible. And some of those things you're going to have to make a decision about, or at least one of those things. So you, even though it feels daunting, you can make that decision. And that's what the universe is telling you. Sherry?
Well, I drew for you unexpected visitors. It says simply, if you expect the unexpected, you'll be prepared for miracles, detours, surprises, paradigm shifts, everything that catches us off guard. Sometimes the best laid plans are kibosh because spirit pulls in and says, hang on a minute. Let's shift this around a little bit because you need to know something or learn something or experience something. So you can't plan synchronicities. You have to just be prepared that when it happens, you see it and then you learn from it. And that's part of what's so wonderful about spirit and the way it works is it will bring things into our lives as we need them and hold some things back because maybe we're just not ready for that yet. Or we've learned that lesson and now it's time to take the next step. So always expect the unexpected. If you're prepared for it, then it's not devastation. It's like going down the road and suddenly there's a detour because the road up ahead is closed. Well, you could either get really upset and turn around and go home, or you could take the detour and find out what new area you might explore that you've never seen before. That's, you'd be amazed what will pop up. Sharon.
Thank you, Sherry. Okay, I've got the Page of Wands, and what I'm getting from that is celebrating your diversity. Yeah, what is unique to you? Celebrate you. Um, I feel like I feel like you're a younger person, and learn this lesson young that it doesn't matter what others think of you. You celebrate you, and you come from the heart, and you speak your truth. That's really important. Okay, so those are the questions. I guess we're ending early today, but then we just have 4 people, so that's part of the reason. And our topic was, we got through that pretty quickly. But like right now, I'm looking at the ocean and the mountains.
Yeah. We have to live in childlike wonder,
We do.
really, in our lives, because
Yeah.
there's so many things that we'd miss because we think it's just the same old thing, and it really isn't. And
No.
that's when we notice all those beautiful things and the
Yeah.
synchronicity, as Sherry said. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, everyone. Well, who's our host next week? We don't have
Val.
Marina
Val.
here.
Val.
Val.
Oh,
Okay, great.
oh.
All right.
It's one of my weird questions. Things
There
to-
we go. All right. We'll take it. We'll take it.
All right. All right.
Thanks,
Okay.
Sherry.
Well, thank you for joining us this evening, and we'll see you next time.
Make it a beautiful day. Thank
Yes.
you.
Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take a walk.